Let's look at 301. This is showing you stack protection. So you need Visual C++, and it's already pre-installed in my machine. It's version 2022 instead of version 2019, but any version is fine because we're only doing simple things. So we'll start with the PWD function. Let me get out of this and just go here. Now what you have to do is you have to open the developer command prompt. So let me just do that to make sure people understand. A normal command prompt won't work. So don't use that. Instead, you want a developer command prompt, and you can just type it down here and look for it. If you have DVEL, there, developer command prompt for Visual Studio 2022, it's there. If you have Visual Studio installed, which you'll have to install to do this. So now in the developer command prompt, you can work from here, and I made a directory called 127. I think I'll try and make my font bigger. Let's see if I can do it. There. Perhaps they've made this more difficult to change the font. Settings, here we go. There's appearance. Yeah, they have made it much more complicated and confusing. I may have to settle for this size rather than being able to find where they've hidden the controls. This is the new terminal for my, I remember, it's just Shift plus. That's right. Shift Control plus. Oh, I thought it was. There, Control plus works. Okay, good. All right. All right. So now I'm here. Now I can look at this program called PWD. Oh, no, it's not cat, it's type. PWD.cpp. There we go. This is the same program we've used many times before. It calls a subroutine. It looks for a password, and if you get it wrong, it prints fail. If you get it right, it prints win, and there's a buffer overflow possibility in here where the pin only has room for 10 characters, but it can read an arbitrary number of characters from the user. So that's a simple example of a program with buffer overflow. So I've compiled it two ways. For PWD, I compiled it with default settings, EHSC, and for PWDN, I compiled it with this GS minus switch, which does not put the stack cookie on it. And so if you do a dir, you'll see PW.exe is 201,216, but PWDN is 200,192, almost 1,000 bytes smaller, since it doesn't have the defenses. And in this case, we're going to just look at the defenses in IDA Pro. And like all other software you need, it's already installed on this pre-made machine. So you run IDA, and then analyze PWD, the normal one, with the default analysis settings. And now, to get to the good part of IDA, you have to, okay, this shows me this nonsense. I have to view open subviews strings to get to the good stuff. And now I see things like enter password and fail. So if I double click the first one of them, I'll get to the data section where it stored the enter password string. And if I point over to the xref here, I can get to the code that uses that. I double click that, and now I've gotten to the code that takes the password from the user. And as you can see, it has the security cookie stuff in it. The first thing it does is prepare a stack frame, and then it calls this security cookie. It references this security cookie to load it. And if I go down to where it leaves, it will check that security cookie before returning. And here it is, checking a security cookie before returning. So that's the safe code. And if I load the other one, which is PWDN, I'll just do open, throw away the old one, and load PWDN.exe, there it is, and accept the default analysis parameters. Now I have to do the same steps to get to the good stuff. View open subviews strings. And here's your enter password. That's the one I want to examine. I double click it, and then in the data xref, I double click it again, and now I get to the code that accepts a password from the user. And as you can see, it doesn't have the stack cookie. It's like the Linux code we've made with just GCC. It prepares a stack frame, and then it enters the password here. It doesn't prepare a stack cookie. And of course, that means that when you return, it will just return. It will not check a stack cookie before returning. So that's what I wanted to show you there. I think that's all there is to this one. Yeah, all right. So I'm going to stop this recording.